Welcome to this video on the IB Biology Paper 2. This is the third in a series of 3 videos taking you through the new look IB Biology Diploma exams. So Paper 2, I'm using a past mock exam here that I produced. It's a higher level one. Similar structure for standard level students, but I'll point out some of the differences as we go along. There's a section A and there's a section B. So first thing you want to do is you want to come along to this exam with obviously your equipment ready. You're going to need your usual pen, pencil, make sure you have a calculator, make sure you have a ruler. You're going to need that to read things off of graphs and also to measure. I would also suggest a highlighter would be useful. Our first question, section A, question 1. This is a database question. It's going to be between about 12 and 15 marks at the higher level. That's a little bit less than before, but remember your new paper 1B has more database questions as well. This database question, however, is going to be unfamiliar data with unfamiliar circumstances. So as you read through this, do not get discombobulated if you think, I've never studied anything like this before. It doesn't matter, it's meant to be unfamiliar. But there will be things like your skills in reading graphs and doing statistical analysis that are needed to answer these questions. So, as we go through, usually starts off on smaller numbers of marks. Identify, compare and contrast very common questions going on. Deduce, meaning work out. You can see another type of graph, so it takes the question further. Another type of graph goes further. You're going to need your calculator here. Okay, so moving on through. Quite a few different sets of graphs going on. They're all going to link together, and at the end you actually have to look at quite a few graphs. So they'll ask you a question that will ask you to reflect back on all the other pieces of information that you've been given. Okay, so that's question 1. After question 1, the rest of section A is short structured questions. Okay, so usually 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 marks, occasionally more. All should be on familiar content from the syllabus. You're going to be applying your syllabus knowledge here and your understanding. So transfer skills, very important. There you are, nice genetics question in here. So the rest of this, structured questions in section B. Now we're going to move on to section B. For high level students, you're going to answer 2 questions. For standard level students, you're going to answer just 1 question. Notice for both of them, you have an additional mark for the quality of construction of your answer. It is worth taking your time here. We see many students not using the full time available for a paper 2. They haven't taken the time to actually think about what are the best questions for me to answer. When we say answering or choosing your questions, for example, if you're choosing 2, you have to choose either 8 ABC, 9 ABC or 10 ABC. It's not a pick and mix situation. These questions will all add up to 15 marks plus the additional quality mark. If you do take a few minutes just to plan out your answer first, you could do that on a piece of scrap paper. You can do it actually on the exam booklet on this page if you want to, but it's worth putting your ideas into order so that you can actually pick up those additional quality marks that reward a clear response that's got relevant information, not lots of irrelevant information. The answer to this you're going to be putting on lined paper, which will follow in the booklet. When you're doing this, make sure you're very clear by putting down which question you're addressing. So for example, if you're going to do questions 8 and 9, maybe you write 8A, you give your answer, leave a bit of space in case you want to go back and add a bit more information. Then you can do 8B, then you can do 8C. Then make it really clear when your next question starts. So for example, question 9 could be on the next page, 9A, 9B, 9C, and so on. Do hope that information is helpful to you. Give me a thumbs up if it is helpful and I can make similar content. If you need some more exam tips and actual exam study skills, tell me what you need in the comments below. And of course, best of luck in those final exams.